A $100,000 salary can make you feel successful. But if that money arrives, gets spent, and disappears every year, how much wealth did that salary actually build? This is where income and wealth separate. One tells you how much money passes through your hands. The other tells you how much of that money stayed and became yours. Someone can earn $100,000 this year and finish the year owning almost nothing, while another person can earn less, steadily invest part of their income, and eventually own far more. That difference is one of the most important financial lessons you can understand. Income gets attention because everyone can see what it buys. A better car, a nicer home, expensive clothes, restaurants, holidays and upgrades. When someone's income rises, their lifestyle can change almost immediately, so from the outside they appear wealthier. But income alone doesn't tell you what is happening underneath. A person can earn $100,000 and spend almost everything they make. Another can earn $75,000 and consistently put money into investments. The first person earns more, but the second person may actually be building more wealth. That is why a high salary and a high net worth are not the same achievement. Your salary is money you receive for your work. Your net worth is what you own minus what you owe. If the salary stops tomorrow, the income may stop with it. But assets you already own don't suddenly disappear simply because you didn't go to work that morning. That is what makes ownership so important. Think about the difference between receiving $100,000 and owning $100,000 in investments. The salary has to keep being earned. You work this year, get paid this year, and then you need to do it again next year. But $100,000 already invested represents money you earned in the past and managed not to consume. It has been converted from income into ownership. That is a major financial transition. Your money went from something you could spend to something that has the potential to grow. Of course, investments can rise and fall. A $100,000 portfolio is not guaranteed to stay at $100,000, and owning investments doesn't mean you suddenly have financial freedom. But it does mean you have started building something beyond your next paycheck. That is where wealth begins becoming different from income. Most of us spend the beginning of our working lives almost completely dependent on income. You work, you get paid, you pay your bills, and then you repeat. There is nothing unusual about that. The problem begins when decades pass and nothing changes. Your salary increases, your expenses increase, you earn more, you spend more, you receive another raise, and your lifestyle finds another way to absorb it. 10 years later, your income may look completely different while your actual ownership has barely moved. That is lifestyle inflation, and it can quietly consume some of the best wealth-building years of your life. The danger is that it doesn't necessarily feel irresponsible. You aren't gambling the money away or doing anything obviously reckless. You're simply getting used to a more expensive version of normal. The $30,000 car becomes the $60,000 car. The ordinary holiday becomes the luxury holiday. The inexpensive phone becomes the newest phone every year. The house gets bigger, subscriptions multiply, and monthly repayments increase. Eventually, the higher salary that was supposed to create financial breathing room becomes necessary just to maintain the lifestyle it created. Now imagine something different. Every time your income increases, your lifestyle improves a little, but your ownership improves too. You receive a raise and increase your regular investment contribution. You finish paying off a debt and redirect part of that old payment toward investments. You receive a bonus and enjoy some of it while investing some of it. You earn additional income and don't automatically create an additional expense. Now your income is doing something different. It is building a second financial identity. You are no longer only an earner. You are becoming an owner. And that word matters. When you buy shares, for example, you are buying ownership interests in businesses. When you invest through diversified funds, you can own pieces of many companies. Other asset classes provide different forms of ownership and come with different risks and characteristics. The point isn't that one particular investment is guaranteed to make you rich. The point is that some of today's income can be converted into assets intended for tomorrow. That's a completely different relationship with money. Many people ask, how much do you earn? A more revealing financial question might be, how much of what you've earned do you still own? Think about that. Over 10 years, someone earning $100,000 annually may receive around $1 million in gross income before tax. That sounds enormous when you say it as one number. But after taxes, housing, transport, food, bills, entertainment, debt and everything else, what remains? That is the part that matters for wealth building because you cannot invest the money you already consumed. You cannot compound the money you no longer own, and you cannot build financial independence from income that passes through your account without leaving anything behind. This does not mean you should save every dollar and refuse to enjoy your life. Money has several purposes. It pays for your life today, protects you from emergencies, gives you experiences and can build your future. The problem appears when today gets everything and tomorrow gets whatever happens to be left. Usually, not much is left. That's why investing first can be so powerful. Instead of reaching the end of the month and asking whether there is anything available to invest, you decide in advance that a portion of your income belongs to your future. It doesn't need to begin with an enormous amount. Consistency matters because you're building the behavior before you're building the fortune. When your income increases later, the habit already exists. This is where two people with similar careers can end up in completely different financial positions. One person treats investing as something they will do when they have extra money. The other treats investing as part of what their income is for. That difference may seem small for the first year. After many years, it may not be small at all. Investments also have something salaries don't: the potential to compound. Your salary doesn't automatically increase simply because you earned a salary last year. Your investments can potentially generate returns, and those returns can remain invested alongside the original capital. Over long periods, returns can begin generating returns of their own. This doesn't happen smoothly every year. Markets fall, investments lose value, and there can be long periods of disappointing performance. Compounding is not a promise of uninterrupted growth. But time gives long-term investors something spending cannot provide: the possibility for money that was earned once to continue participating in future growth. That's why reaching $100,000 owned can feel so different from earning $100,000. A $100,000 salary represents earning power. A $100,000 portfolio represents accumulated capital. Both matter, but they perform different jobs. Your earning power helps you create new money. Your capital gives some of your old money the opportunity to create more. The strongest financial position isn't choosing one or the other. It is using the first to build the second. Increase your income where you can. Develop valuable skills, negotiate better pay, advance your career and create additional income when it makes sense. But don't let the entire purpose of earning more become spending more. Give the increase somewhere productive to go. This is especially important because earning a high income can create a false sense of financial security. If a large amount enters your account every month, you may feel wealthy because there is always another paycheck coming. But what happens if that paycheck stops? How long can your financial life continue without it? A high-income household with enormous fixed expenses can be more financially fragile than it appears. Large mortgage payments, car loans, Credit cards and a lifestyle requiring constant cash flow can turn a large salary into a large dependency. That is why financial strength is not only about how much comes in. It is also about how much your life requires to keep going. Someone earning less but carrying lower expenses, manageable debt, a strong cash reserve and a growing investment portfolio may have more flexibility than someone earning far more. Flexibility is underrated wealth. The ability to survive a job loss without immediate panic, leave a workplace you hate, reduce your hours, handle an unexpected expense, or take an opportunity without wondering how next month's bills will be paid. That is what ownership can gradually create. Not just a bigger number, but options. And options are one of the reasons people build wealth in the first place. You aren't investing simply so you can stare at an account balance decades from now. You're investing because money represents choices. The more financial resources you own, the less every decision has to be controlled by your next paycheck. This is why net worth can become a more meaningful scoreboard than salary. Your salary can rise while your financial position gets weaker. If your income increases by $20,000 but you immediately take on a more expensive car, larger housing costs and new monthly commitments, technically you're earning more. But if your savings and investments don't improve, did your financial life really become stronger? Maybe your lifestyle did, but that isn't the same thing. Now consider someone whose salary increases by the same amount but who keeps most of their existing lifestyle. They use part of the increase to invest more each month. 5 years later, the difference isn't simply what they earn. It's what they own. This is why wealth building can look unimpressive from the outside. There may be no dramatic transformation. The same car is still parked outside, the same phone is still being used, and there isn't a new purchase every time income increases. But inside the investment account, something is happening. The portfolio grows because money repeatedly enters it and is given time. Not because every investment goes perfectly and not because the person discovered a secret stock, but because they keep buying assets instead of allowing every extra dollar to disappear into consumption. Once you reach meaningful amounts of invested capital, percentages also begin representing larger dollar amounts. A 5% movement on $10,000 is $500. A 5% movement on $100,000 is $5,000. A 5% movement on $500,000 is $25,000. That works in both directions, of course. Markets can increase or decrease by those amounts, which is why emotional discipline becomes increasingly important as wealth grows. But it also demonstrates why building the capital base matters. You cannot experience meaningful compounding on money you never accumulated. This is why the early years of investing can feel frustrating. You're contributing money every month while the market movement on your portfolio may still look small. It doesn't feel powerful because you're still building the base. Later, the relationship between your contributions and investment movements can begin changing. Eventually, there may be periods when your portfolio moves by more than the amount you contributed that month. That doesn't mean you've reached some magical stage where markets only go upward. It means your capital base has become large enough that market movements are now meaningful in dollar terms. This is one of the moments when you begin understanding why ownership mattered. Your financial life is no longer represented only by what you earn from work. You have accumulated assets participating in the market too. And this is where patience becomes one of the most important financial skills. You don't need to look wealthy while you're building wealth. You don't need everyone to know how much you invest. You don't need an exciting portfolio. You don't need to constantly prove that your income has increased. You need a financial system capable of becoming stronger year after year. Earn, spend intentionally, protect yourself, invest and repeat. When your income rises, make sure your ownership rises with it. Because the real danger isn't always earning too little forever. Sometimes the danger is finally earning good money and allowing your lifestyle to consume every dollar of the opportunity. A $100,000 income can change your life, but only if you decide what that income is supposed to build. The goal should not simply be earning $100,000, then $150,000, then $200,000 while remaining completely dependent on earning the next $200,000. At some point, income needs to become ownership. Paychecks need to become assets. Work from yesterday needs to begin supporting the life of tomorrow. That's the transition from earning money to building wealth. So don't be impressed only by what comes in. Pay attention to what stays. Don't measure financial progress only by your salary. Measure what you own. Because earning $100,000 tells you what your work produced this year. Owning $100,000 tells you that some of your past work is still with you. One is income. The other is capital. And learning how to turn the first into the second can completely change your financial future. Before you go, ask yourself, if I added up everything I've earned over the last 5 years, how much of it did I turn into something I still own today? Your answer may tell you more about your financial direction than your salary ever could. If this video inspired you, like and subscribe to Empowerment. Every click helps us spread the mindset that changes lives. Empowerment. Build yourself, build wealth.